Yo, what's going on? Yo, welcome back. Y'all are too close to me. To the channel, man. And today, we'll be reacting to Solving the Stupidest Debates. Videos by St. Don. Alright. Man, listen, it has been a while since I got to sit down and record. But, you know, everything's been going. You know, things are looking a little bit different. I know my camera probably looks a little bit different. I was around with the settings. Damn it, I shouldn't have cursed right there. I was messing around with the settings and I kind of messed it up. So I apologize for that. You know, if things look worse than they did before, right? So I'm going to have to try to figure that out. That's going to be a adjusting thing. So we'll just ignore the camera quality for the next few videos until I get that figured out. All right. But stupid debates, man. Stupid debates I hear all the time. Number one, is water wet? We're not even going to get into it because everybody knows that water is wet, bro. I feel like people just say that to try to rage bait other people. That's like the biggest stupid debate I hear all the time. I just had this conversation with two of my coworkers not even like a week ago. It was probably like sometime on Tuesday, I think it was. But hey man, you know, people think they're a lot smarter than they actually are, but yeah, so we're just gonna let them have that one, you feel me? So let's see what Don's talking about, not this Don, the other Don, and let's see how much of these he can disprove, right? And if I feel like I can disprove them better than he can, you know what I mean? So without further ado, let's get straight into the video, man.
If there's one thing people like to do on the internet, it's argue. And I personally think a lot of these debates can be looked at objectively. Now, some questions are obviously deeper than others.
Other niggas had your bitch outside. It wasn't my bitch. Then shut the f up in 2020. You sound dumb.
But as you read the title, these are ones that I consider stupid.
Where's the parachute? I thought you said parachutes.
And ones that can be answered pretty easily. But when I look at some of the most popular arguments, I realize that we really just be fighting about anything.
Yeah.
Water. Is it wet?
See, I knew this was coming, bro. That was always gonna be the first one because that's always the biggest one that people argue about for no reason. Yes, bro, water is wet, bro. We're not doing this, bro.
Wet has to be a troll. What do you mean is water wet? And for the people that are still confused on my stance, yes, it is. I don't know about you, but this looks pretty wet to me. Yes, the implications of something being wet is a solid interacting with the liquid and making it wet. But deeper though, even though water is a liquid, water is covered in water, right? When was the last time you had one water molecule? If you're gonna sit here and tell me water's dry though, you are a complete jester. Anywho, next question. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Now, if you...
This is a good one. I also just had this conversation, I think like freaking last Friday or something. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Now, when we had this talk, right, me and the people I had this discussion with, or at least the people that I heard having this discussion, I was just there listening, looking at them kind of funny looking, right? They were all kind of, wow, you know what I mean? So I just removed myself from that conversation. But the argument I heard was that culturally it is a sandwich. Technically, it is not a sandwich. Okay, so culturally, this culture, in their culture, it is a sandwich. So I guess I'll just let them have that. You know what I mean? I guess that's their culture. Okay, so we can't take away from their culture, chat.
Not a complete lunatic. Everything in your mind is telling you a hot dog is not in fact a sandwich. God. But it's the same sort of thing as the is water wet argument. You know, like the definition and the outline of what a sandwich is would technically make a hot dog a sandwich. That would be if a meat rocket was not its own category of food. Do not put meat missiles in the same conversation as sandwiches. Just look at the way you eat a sandwich versus how you eat a meat rocket.
Hey, yo.
These are two very different experiences. And also a sub technically has that same sus shape to it. And most people will consider that a sandwich. In my personal opinion, subs are way more sandwich-like than a glizzy, and Franks only have one bun. It's not even close to being a sandwich if it only has one bun. I'd say that's closer to a pizza than a hot dog is to being a sandwich. But I was already pissed off reading some people's backwards logic for why a hot dog is the same as a sandwich. But then this nigga has to say it's a taco.
Look, some people need to be gone, bro.
Bro, that was also in their argument, that it is closer to a taco than a freaking sandwich. Okay, so... I feel like all of these idiots are just, and I'm not saying all of these people are idiots, but like just these ones in particular. You know what I mean? 'Cause a taco, nigga, really? A hot dog is a taco. Okay, sure.
You know what I'm talking about? In order for shit to get better. He one of them.
And for our next debate, this is a pretty recent one that went really viral. And that's
Okay.
100 men versus one gorilla. And from my observations, this one is like a 70-30 split, with 70% of people believing the gorilla would win and the other 30 believing the men would win. But personally, I think if you had like 60 people all dedicated to f***ing up this gorilla, I don't think it stands even a chance. One gorilla versus 100 people. Bro, 100 people is just overwhelming numbers. You got two people grabbing each arm, you got two people grabbing each leg, someone kicking.
I'm gonna be honest. 2 people might not be enough to hold down each arm and leg for a gorilla, bro.
He ain't lying.
I don't think that 2 people are strong enough. Like, unless they're crazy bodybuilders or like strongest men type of people, you know what I mean? Like the world's strongest niggas type of strongest niggas. You know, those people who do those competitions. Unless they're them, unless it's those 100 people. But if it's just 100 regular niggas against one gorilla, I don't think 2 people is enough to hold that gorilla down, bro. That's just me though. Cause if that gorilla's in a frantic state, it's freaking ragdolling them niggas, bro. I'm just saying. And it will be in a frantic state if it see 100 people just bum rushing it, bro. So I don't know. He's gonna kind of hit or miss with this one. But I'm not going to say he's entirely wrong in his observation. You know what I mean? Because 100 people is a whole lot of people versus one gorilla. Come on now. Now, if it was like 2 or 3, then yeah, them 100 niggas is losing. Easy. No comp, bro. No comp. That's just me, though.
Straight meat. Like, tell me I'm not onto something. Okay, I was in fact not onto something. The original plan was just to glaze 100 humans and talk about how we would just overwhelm the gorilla. But I took it to myself to ask ChatGPT for help. And in order to get a representation on how difficult it would be to fight the gorilla, I asked what animals is weak to humans as humans are to gorillas. And since a gorilla is roughly 4 to 9 times stronger than a human, ChatGPT came up with a common marmoset. Now, what the fuck is a marmoset, you ask?
What?
I was picturing something maybe the size of a small dog.
What the dog doing?
Why is it the size of a human head? I am easily clearing through 500 of these. But then again, I'm also more intelligent than a gorilla, so I'll at least have some strategy. So who knows, bro? Until I see 100 men fight a gorilla, I'm gonna just have to leave this one open. Okay. But for our next debate, I'm not gonna give it any build up. It's this fucking dress. And if you see black and blue, you're lying, but the dress is in fact black or blue. You know, just because one thing is one way doesn't mean the same thing can't be another way.
What the hell are you talking about, bro?
Because, the debate has been closed for a minute now. The person that took the original photo took another one and said it was black and blue. And it was, in fact, the lighting of the dress that affected how it looked. And I'm not even trying to be different, alright? But I'd honestly say the dress is gold and blue. And I knew I wasn't tripping, alright? Color Select says that's the colors that are projecting into my eyes. So, yeah, the real dress is black and blue, but this ass photo is gold and blue. And another debate that what? Is cereal soup.
Is this nigga serious?
And before you even say anything, yes, I know the argument, solid food inside liquid, served in a bowl. Technically, that is soup behavior. But we just all know cereal is...
It's nice. Man, listen, man. People are being stupid and they're trying to rage bait us, chat. We're not going to fall for it, okay? They're trying to rage bait us. Cereal is not soup. Oh, my phone's ringing. Okay, so I forgot what I was talking about. Let's just go. Yes, if cereal is soup. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna let them rage bait me like that. So
not soup. If somebody hands me cereal and calls it soup, I don't trust the hand.
I'm swinging on you, bro. I am going to swing on you and then smack you up top of your head with that bowl of cereal. Is that a freaking assault? Yes. Do I care? No. I'm going to take that cereal and shove it so far up yours, it's going to come out the other end, bro. What are you talking about?
Hands that prepared that food. Okay, on to our next debate.
Okay.
How many holes does this shirt have? First of all, what kind of fucking shirt is this? This is some shit niggas would wear if it was Rick Owens. But I'm not gonna lie, this one's more like a riddle because a lot of people forget to include the hole in the neckline and the sleeves and underneath, you know. Most people would say it has 2 holes, but it actually has 8. So this wasn't really a debate until people started arguing on whether a hole is just...
Hold on. Wait. Chat, am I stupid?
Yeah.
Am I go back.
A lot of people forget to include the hole in the neckline and the sleeves and underneath, you know. Most people would say it has 2 holes, but it actually has 8. So this
8? Is he counting the holes on the back of it as freaking its own 2 holes? Is that what he's doing? If that's what he's doing, then okay. But if that's not okay.
This wasn't really a debate until people started arguing on whether a hole is just one hole, if it has an entry and an exit. But for the answer to this question, I'll simply have to say that holes don't actually exist. They're nothing but a concept art. Because think about it for a second. A hole is literally just the absence of something. It's not a thing you can hold, it's not a thing you can grab. It's just where something used to be, but isn't anymore. Which means, technically speaking, a hole is just nothing. But now my brain's overheating, cooking, bro. So instead, let's just move on to a debate that's somehow even more pointless, but also way bigger.
Massive, dude.
This is probably one of the biggest debates of all time, and it's gender wars. Who is better, woman or man?
Alani finding out of Orem, Utah. Let's go, baby.
And it all seems to be the same thing, alright? Women saying all men are like this, men saying all women are like this. And at the root of it, it's just clearly a human problem. But apparently that's not a good enough answer, and no one will stop until there's a clear winner.
There isn't. There really isn't.
So who is objectively better? In order to decide this, I've decided to borrow this power comparison system from this One Piece edit. Now it was used to compare Roger and Shanks. We're gonna use it to compare man and woman. Before y'all complain, this is a very scientific system. 9 and 10 doctors approve. And now we have a round.
Man, shut up. This is gonna piss somebody off, bro. I don't know who it's gonna piss off, but it's gonna piss somebody off, bro. So if you know you're easily triggered by these kind of topics, I suggest you skip ahead. This man might say some crazy stuff, bro. I don't know what he's about to say, but I would be cautious watching this part of the video, bro.
Round 1, strength. Now the men are gonna take this first round. The heaviest weight ever lifted by a man being 510 kgs, and the heaviest weight lifted by a woman coming at close at 325 kgs, which is still insane, by the way. If somebody told me to pick up 325 kgs,
I couldn't do it.
My spine would just Gwen Stacy. But sorry, ladies, the men are gonna take this one. And for round 2, we have speed. Okay, let me just stop. Because at the end of the day, fighting about gender is so pointless. Because what is the desired outcome here? The complete annihilation of the opposite gender? Because last time I checked, the human race requires both sides of the argument to even continue existing. And what I find so stupid is these giant overgeneralized statements that would imply an entire gender is just the scum of the earth. Like saying kill all men.
What did I do?
That would imply there's never been a good man that's ever lived ever. Just the addition of the word some.
You can't freaking say that, right? Like there's never been a good man ever, because then what about Jesus for the religious people? You know what I mean? What about Muhammad for those religious people? You know? What about all these other prophets? Granted, some of them were, you know what I mean, in their past lives. But, you know, Jesus is the perfect example. The man literally came out of the womb freaking glowing on some shit, bro. So what do you mean there's never been a decent man, bro? Come on now.
Does so much. But people don't do it because it doesn't rage bait hard enough. And rage baiting is a reason that 90% of people do gender wars, even if they realize it or not.
Call me delusional, but I think 100 girls can easily beat that gorilla.
Okay.
And I've heard arguments like, it's not all men, but it's enough. Which, what is the implications there? You saying I'm one of the good ones?
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
But look, even if 100 men or women did you the worst 100 times in a row, they still another 4 billion men or women. And now those 100 grimy niggas now represent the other 4 billion. And the end result of this is just 2 groups of extremely online people convincing each other that the opposite gender is a different species.
Bro, as a matter of fact, I was gonna air her business out like that, but there's a lot of women on the internet that seem to believe that the vast majority of men is just a bunch of scumbags. And it's also the same thing on the opposite end. There's a vast majority of niggas on the internet that seem to believe that women are just evil, wicked creatures. Like, bro, just say you get no hoes, bro. Come on now. Say you're still butthurt about that one nigga that cheated on you with your best friend back in grade school or some shit, bro. Come on. Okay, you have not seen a vast majority of the world to even know how a vast majority of either gender behaves, bro. So how can you just generalize that statement and say that this is a accurate freaking number that I have heard multiple times from women on the internet, okay? That more than 50% of men are freaking this, that, or the third. What? Have you seen more than 50% of the freaking world? Have you, as that person making that claim, spoken with more than 50% of the male species or female species to know that all of them are freaking wicked and evil? No. So you can't make that statement. Bro, what? You're dealing with a very, very minute freaking percent of the male and or female population to freaking base off of. That the loud minority does not represent the greater majority, bro. Come on. Let's stop acting like we don't have brains on top of our heads, bro. Come on, man.
The older I get, the more I realize that women are humans.
But finally,
What?
for our last debate, this one might actually be the stupidest one yet. But the
God.
question is, if you punch yourself and it hurts, are you weak or strong?
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
This debate is so dumb. If you punch yourself and it doesn't hurt, that doesn't prove you're strong or weak. And neither does punching yourself and being in pain. The only thing you're proving is that you're not incredibly weak. But listen, right?
No, the only thing you're proving is that you're incredibly retarded. What are we talking about? Why is that even a debate, bro? Bro, people will argue over the stupidest shit on the internet, bro. It's hilarious.
The kid around the ages
Oh, my
10 to
days.
13 haymakered my unsuspecting chin at full force, right? It's most likely going to hurt. That doesn't mean the kid is stronger than me. It just means I got punched in the face. Unless it's one of those kids like in East Bay at 12 years old. Okay, maybe he was stronger than me.
How old are you, man?
But also, if I was to swing
Cap.
full force
He's
at
lying.
any hole, former strongest man in the world, big brother guy. Now, this is gonna go one of two ways. If my theory's correct, I knock this guy clean out. If not, my hand is going this. But I've been told I end my videos too suddenly. So,
Man, if you don't stick to how you end your video, man. Hey, man, say, man. Bro, people will find these stupidest things to talk about on the internet, bro. It's genuinely hilarious. It is amusing. It is very much amusing. I'm not gonna lie. Some of this stuff, like, yeah, y'all already know my gripes with the internet, bro. But some of it is so stupid. It's actually entertainingly funny, bro. But yeah, let me know any stupid debates y'all might have. Let's just do that. You know what I mean? I feel like inciting some rage in people today. So I don't know. Give me the stupidest debate y'all have, and I'll make a whole video about it, bro. Hey, man, say, man, it's something to do, you feel me? Anyway, that'll be it for this video. Where's my button? I hope y'all enjoyed it. Back up. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.